On the news, President Tinubu nominates Mr. Taiwo Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance, 6 Senate screening. State House of Assembly Joint Committee submit report of Delta State Landlord and Tenant Bill. National Association of Nigerian Students decry negative effect of electricity shortage. Abroad, United States and Israel hit Iran with most intense strikes. Good evening and welcome to Delta Television Main News. I'm Great Edoniabo. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate seeking the screening and confirmation of Mr. Taiwo Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance. The letter was read at plenary today during the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Mr. Oyedele, an economist and public policy expert, is expected to replace Dr. Doris Uzoka Nite in the position. Until his nomination, he served as chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, which reviewed Nigeria's tax system. President Tinubu also asked the Senate to confirm former Senator Magnus Abe as chairman of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, following the resignation of the former head, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe. Also nominated as non-executive commissioners of the commission are Mr. Paul Jersey and Mr. Sunday Babalola, with their confirmations referred to the Senate Committee on Petroleum Upstream. The House of Assembly Joint Committee on Housing, Women Affairs and Girl Child Entrepreneur, Humanitarian Support Services and Urban Renewal has submitted its report on the Delta State Landlord and Tenant Bill during plenary. Favor Okafor reports.
Presenting the report, Chairman of the Joint Committee, Honorable Bridget Anyafulu, said after the bill was referred to the committee for further legislative scrutiny, members organized a public hearing where relevant stakeholders made contributions that guided the committee's recommendations.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, the stakeholders made remarkable contributions through written and thorough presentation during the public hearing. Their inputs contributed immensely and informed the decision of the committee. Consequently, after a thorough examination and review of the bill vis-à-vis the submission of the stakeholders, it is of the view of the committee that the bill be amended as shown in the annex to this report for your consideration and passage.
The House afterwards received the committee's report through a motion moved by the Leader of the House, Honorable Emeka Nwobi. The Speaker, the Right Honorable Imomotimi Gore, deferred further consideration of the bill to April 7, when it will be taken at the Committee of the Whole. The proposed legislation seeks to repeal the Rent Control and Recovery of Residential Premises Law of 1977 and provide a framework that protects tenants from exploitation while ensuring fair returns for landlords. Favor Okafor reporting.
The wife of the state governor and founder of the Yo Matter Charity Foundation, Deaconess Tobore Oborowori, has called for increased support and empowerment for women to enable them contribute meaningfully to family, community, and national development. Deaconess Oborowori made a call at this year's International Women's Day celebration held at the Event Center in Asaba. Florence Oyibodoro reports.
Deaconess Oborowori, who spoke on the theme of the observance Give to Gain, celebrated the extraordinary woman, described it as a reflection of the principle of sowing and reaping, explaining that when women were empowered and given opportunities, They multiplied value through service, sacrifice, and investment in others, thereby fostering growth and prosperity in the society. She urged women to pay greater attention to their health, families, and people around them, while striving to give their best in all their endeavors.
Everywhere you go, you will see women. Everywhere you go, women are very important to the state. And today, I respect every woman today. I celebrate every woman today.
In a welcome address, the wife of the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Josephine Emu, highlighted the importance of renewing efforts to promote gender equality and build a more inclusive Nigeria.
We must acknowledge the challenges that many Nigerian women still face in their pursuit of the fullest manifestation of their humanity. Inequality and stereotyping, limited access to education and health care, political marginalization, as well as native customs that justify girl-child betrothal and marriage.
The colorful event featured a playlet and a vibrant march past by women from the 25 local government areas of the state, among other activities, with Okwe local government area clinching the first position. The event featured the presentation of cash support to various women groups, including the Hausa community in the state, to boost their businesses and promote economic empowerment. Florence Oibodoro reporting.
As a host community, try as much as possible to guide your utterances. No company can be intimidated. The companies are also urged to keep to their social responsibility, the corporate social responsibility. I always say it, keep to it. If you keep to the corporate social responsibility, no host community will hold you ransom.
Like I tell you, very soon, electricity for Delta State, it will be one of the best for Nigeria.
Obukobo, stop, you don't start.
Calm down, you get waiting I don't tell you before when
you don't tell me now. Say this year, 2026, they go complete the DSA roundabout flyover for free. More they watch whether it go happen now.
Sure, why not go happen? This year just a start now. The construction of the DSA roundabout flyover for free is already 98% complete.
You sure?
Yes. Governor Sheriff they drive to modernize urban infrastructure so that it go ease traffic congestion across key metropolitan.
You mean metropolitan corridor?
Yes. You know, say me an English not like this.
Well, I not go like Governor Sheriff they do well because I know of some communities where they say their expectations, their dreams has become a reality. You will talk something about electricity.
Our governor, Right Honorable Sheriff, he done this set to add 120 megawatts to the national grid.
Oh boy. This one go boost Delta State energy capacity.
Delta State Health Insurance Scheme expanded between 2023 to 2025, becoming Nigeria's largest state health insurance scheme. While Oborewori no go clinch double honors as Governor of the Year 2025.
Governor Oborewori don't remember Kokori Sweet Crudo with 12 billion naira road rehabilitation.
I know, a 35.32 kilometer road for Etiop East local government area.
150 primary healthcare centers under renovation and upgrade across the state.
This road intervention where Governor Sheriff they do so, now practical demonstration of the Governor Sheriff opportunities for all where they more agenda.
Particularly communities where those suffer neglect for years.
Sheriff they work with the CM.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
You're still watching Delta Television Main News. The state government has introduced an automatic number plate recognition system, ANPR, also known as Plate Detect, to monitor traffic activities and detect violations on major roads towards strengthening road safety and enforcing compliance with traffic regulations across the state. A statement signed by the Director of Public Communication and functioning Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Mrs. Stella Macaulay, explained that the system operated through strategically installed cameras capable of scanning vehicle number plates and cross-checking them with a central database to identify offenses such as expired vehicle particulars, overspeeding, and disobeying traffic lights. The statement added that once a violation was detected, offenders would be notified through phone calls and text messages linked to their registered vehicle details and directed to settle fines through the official payment portal. It urged motorists to keep their vehicle documents valid and comply strictly with traffic regulations, as failure to clear outstanding fines might affect renewal of vehicle particulars or lead to impoundment by enforcement agencies. The Confederation of Delta State Oil Producing Ethnic Nationality Students Union, CONSOPENSU, has commended the Oborewori administration for restoring and improving the DESOPADEC bursary program for students from oil-producing communities. The commendation came as the student body paid a visit to the Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, DESOPADEC, headquarters in Warri South local government area. Speaking on behalf of the students, Chairman of the union, Comrade Onajite Onagba, noted that government had restored the suspended scheme and increased the bursary from 30,000 naira to 50,000 naira per beneficiary. He pledged the body's continued support while also appealing for the timely disbursement of the 2026 bursary, receiving the delegation, the Managing Director of DESOPADEC, Chief Festus Ochonogo, represented by the Executive Director of Social Services, Chief Favor Iswakumo, thanked the students for their vote of confidence in government while urging them to remain good ambassadors of their communities and the state. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS Southwest Zone D, has called on the federal government to review the performance of the Federal Minister of Power over persistent electricity challenges affecting tertiary institutions. NANS, in a statement, said prolonged power outages across campuses were disrupting academic activities and affecting students' ability to study effectively. It added that months of erratic electricity supply had made it difficult for students to conduct research and complete assignments, especially during examination periods, while hostels, libraries, and study centers were often left in darkness for long hours. The students' body also expressed concern that poor lighting around hostels and study areas had heightened security risk, urging the federal government to take urgent steps to restore stable electricity supply in communities hosting tertiary institutions. Still to come on the Delta Television Main News, United States and Israel hit Iran with most intense strikes. Stay with us. Welcome back. The United States and Israel pounded Iran today with what both the Pentagon and Iranians on the ground describe as the most intense airstrikes of the conflict, despite global markets betting that President Donald Trump will call off his war soon. Raising the stakes for the global economy, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said they will block oil shipments from the Gulf unless U.S. and Israeli attacks cease, while Trump responded by threatening to hit Iran harder unless it flows. Tehran residents reached by newsmen also described the war's most intense night of bombardment, saying it was like hell. Yet, with Trump having described the war as very complete, pretty much, investors appeared convinced it would end it soon, before the unprecedented disruption to global energy supplies caused a worldwide economic meltdown. An historic surge in crude oil prices from yesterday was mostly reversed within a day, and Asian and European share prices staged a recovery from earlier falls. A source familiar with Israel's war plan said the Israeli military was trying to inflict as much damage as possible before the window for further strikes closes, under the assumption President Trump could end the war at any time. Global oil prices have fallen slightly after the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, suggested that the ongoing conflict with Iran could end very soon. The benchmark price of crude oil has surged above $100 per barrel yesterday amid fears that the war could disrupt supplies from the Middle East. President Trump told newsmen that the war was already very far ahead of schedule and pretty much complete, adding that more still needed to be achieved. He also held talks with Russian President Mr. Vladimir Putin and hinted that some oil sanctions could be lifted, though he did not specify the countries that may benefit from the move. Following the remarks, oil prices dropped to around $90 per barrel, though they remain significantly higher than levels recorded before the conflict began. Meanwhile, tensions remain high as Iran reportedly warned that it could stop all oil exports from the region if the United States and the Israeli attacks continue. As petrol prices rose to about 1,300 naira per litre in many parts of the country yesterday, businesses are preparing for a likely increase in their operational costs. Market analysts and the organized private sector who confirmed this warned that the development could intensify inflationary pressures as companies may be forced to adjust budgets and review prices of goods and services to cushion the impact on consumers. The increase followed a rise in the country price of petrol by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, which moved from 995 naira to 1,175 naira per litre amid global market tensions linked to the ongoing US-Iran conflict. As a result, filling stations across the country have quickly adjusted their pump prices, dispensing petrol at between 1,250 and 1,400 naira per litre, prompting concerns from labor groups and calls for the federal government to boost local refining capacity and adopt measures to stabilize fuel prices. Meanwhile, the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, has warned that petrol prices in the country could rise to about 2,000 naira per litre if current tensions in the global oil markets persisted. The group has therefore called on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to strengthen domestic refining capacity to shield the country from shocks in the international petroleum markets. It charged the NNPC to facilitate the immediate commencement of production at Nigeria's refineries, particularly those in Port Harcourt and Warri, warning that further increases in petrol price could worsen inflation and transportation costs. However, Dangote Refinery has lowered petrol and diesel prices by 100 naira. In the latest pricing template from the refinery issued today, the price of petrol at the country has been reduced by 100 naira, bringing it down to 1,075 naira per litre from the earlier price of 1,175 naira per litre. The refinery has further stated that the price of PMS for coastal supply will now be set at 1,050 naira per litre, which accounts for a minor adjustment due to maritime distribution expenses. In the same vein, the cost of automotive gas oil known as diesel has been lowered to 1,430 naira per litre at the gantry. This marks a reduction of 190 naira from the previous price of 1,620 naira per litre. The refinery pointed out that the prices at the gantry do not include fees from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has congratulated the Obi of our kingdom, Ifezomo II, as he marks his 88th birth anniversary. In a congratulatory message through his Chief Press Secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, Governor Oborevwori underscored the monarch's significant contributions to the growth of his kingdom and the overall development of the state. He commended the royal father for preserving the rich cultural heritage of the Owa people, while also praising his service to the state as immediate past chairman of the Delta State Council of Traditional Rulers. The governor prayed for continued good health, strength, and wisdom for the traditional ruler, wishing him more years of impactful leadership. Similarly, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyagu, has congratulated the Obi of our kingdom, the Emmanuel Ifezomo II, on his 88th birth anniversary, describing the monarch as a symbol of wisdom, peace, and exemplary leadership. Mr. Anyagu, in a congratulatory message, praised the traditional ruler for decades of impactful leadership, noting that his reign had contributed significantly to unity, development, and cultural preservation in our kingdom and the wider Anioma nation. He wished the royal father good health and many more years on the throne as he continued to promote peace and development in his domain. The State Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, has described the late Sir Benjamin Elue, a former Deputy Governor of the state, as a great inspiration who consistently offered him wise counsel. Sir Oyeme stated this when he paid a condolence visit to the widow and family of the deceased at Obio, a Nation North local government area. Pere Botu reports.
The deputy governor said he was saddened by the death of Sir Benjamin Elue, noting that he had a close relationship with the family. He noted that the late deputy governor was a very humble man with a calm personality whom he drew inspiration from at all times. Sir Oyeme said late Sir Benjamin Elue made an impact and contributed meaningfully to the political development of the state, having served as a deputy governor from 1999 to 2003. He said Sir Benjamin Elue, who rose from a humble background as a teacher who had tutored many persons, remained a political teacher to several politicians. The deputy governor assured the widow and children of the late former deputy governor of support before, during and after the funeral, adding that Sir Benjamin Elue would be missed. Responding, a son of the deceased, architect Udoka Elue, thanked the deputy governor for the visit at the time of their grief. The deputy governor later signed the condolence register opened for the deceased. Some dignitaries that accompanied the deputy governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, on the visit included the Commissioner for Secondary Education, Dr. Kingsley Ashibogu, Chief Dan Osai, APC Chairman, Delta North, Chairman of Ndokwa West and East Local Government Councils, Honorable Obi Nzete and Honorable Vincent Osilonya, Chairman of Anyosha North, Honorable Bazim Chinye, Sir Ifeanyi Osakwe, Deputy Chief of Staff, APC Chairman of Ndokwa West and East, Chief Anselm Nzete, and Chief Chris Oputa, among others. I am Pere Botu reporting.
In sports, Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen is leading the player of the match standings in this season's UEFA Champions League, having won 4 Man of the Match awards, the most by any player so far. Osimhen claimed his 4th award in Galatasaray's recent game against Juventus in Turin. He has scored 7 goals in 8 Champions League appearances this season. Galatasaray will face Liverpool in the first leg of their round of 16 tie at the Rams Park in Istanbul, Turkey at 6:45 p.m. this evening. And our thought for the day: the only way to do great work is to love what you do. To end the news, here are the highlights. President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate seeking the screening and confirmation of Mr. Taiwo Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance. The letter was read at plenary today during the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. The House of Assembly Joint Committee on Housing, Women Affairs, and Girl Child Entrepreneur Humanitarian Support Services and Urban Renewal has submitted its report on Delta State Landlord and Tenant Bill during plenary. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NAN Southwest Zone D, has called on the federal government to review the performance of the Federal Minister of Power over persistent electricity challenges affecting